Keep it going for Chad Lennon. Hell yeah. Did you notice that he kept calling it Jiu-Jitsu and not BJJ so that it sounded slightly less gay? I have an ex who got really into BJJ and really not into me at the end of our relationship, so I am a bit prejudiced to people who are into jiu-jitsu. On the flip side of that, I also love watching UFC because I like watching men make each other bleed. So, you guys can do psychology that and figure out what's wrong with me. All right, we have 2 more comics. I am so excited to bring up our next comic. She's my friend. She's very funny. Give it up for Taylor Doyle.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Oh my God, that's a good way to start. I'm so happy to be here, especially because I'm from Meriden, and you are too, so I think you can maybe vouch for this. That I feel like Meriden is kind of like the Denny's of Central Connecticut, where nobody goes there, we all just kind of end up here. And by the end of it, we're never really fully satisfied, but we're never mad about it either. It's it did what it needed to do. You know what I mean? But Grace's Place is awesome. Thank you guys so much for having us. So shout out to them. And it's really cool because, comedy is something that I've been doing for about a year now, which is pretty crazy. And it's such a weird hobby to have because it's I'm choosing to feel the way that I felt in 2008 in a dressing room where I knew my mom was going to say something that made me feel really bad about my body. I just go on the inside in front of at least 20 people at a time or something like that. But no, there's been so much support in just comedy in Connecticut, and especially the female comedians like Brittany, who's doing a great job at hosting. Charity, Victoria, thank you so much. And some of the best advice that they've given is, even when you don't feel like it, if you really want to get good at anything, you just have to keep showing up, right? Keep writing and keep going to mics. And every time I do, they're always so supportive and so happy to see me. They're like, oh, I'm so glad that you came. And I'm like, no, the only time where I'm I promise you, I'm going to come and then I don't is when I'm with a man. Which is lucky for me because I am bisexual, and if any of you guys don't know what that means, it's I'm gay, but only on my dad's side. And no one ever reads that. Nobody ever gets that on the initial vibe check. And I learned that in a really humbling way when I was in college. And I was walking across the campus, and this girl, absolutely gorgeous, would have bullied me in high school and I would have thanked her, type of beautiful, came up to me and was like, hey, beautiful woman. And I was like, oh my God, hi. And so we get to talking, and one thing leads to another. And she invites me to come home with her. Just in the conversation, I was like, a fucking course. And she's like, no, I just think that you would really fit in at my Bible study. Which is not the altar I thought she was trying to go down on. But I respect it. The other side of the bisexuality coin is that I do date men. Don't clap. Okay, I'm glad you didn't clap for that. That was a litmus test you all passed. And the last guy that I dated he was not bad, but we had kind of a cultural issue, I guess you could call it. We had a hard time finding a rhythm in the bedroom because we're both white. And after that, I was single for quite some time. And it was really weird because nobody, when you kind of start putting yourself back out there again, people ask you how do you know that you're ready? And for me, it was when I had breast surgery and I realized that the last time a guy saw me with my tits out, my insurance got billed for it after. Which is okay, it's probably time. And then I had another doctor that tried to set me up with her brother. And I thought it was really weird, right? I thought I was just going into the appointment initially and that it would be the standard questions of it started of do you smoke and do you drink? And then it's so what do you do in your free time? And are you single? It was very Hinge profile adjacent questions. And the thing that kind of made her brother sound most like husband material was the fact that he was already someone else's husband. And she was like, no, but it's not gonna last. It's not gonna work out. You just need to slide in there. And I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it was odd, too, because she was really enthusiastic about giving me a pap smear. And so, we're talking about this at a really vulnerable time. And I just looked at her because, we were just bonding at that point. And I was like, okay, so you want to see my cervix. you want your brother to see my cervix. At what point do I just start selling tickets for that? You know what I mean, guys? It's 2026, supply and demand. What are we doing? And she was just awesome. And then after that, I decided to kind of start meeting people in ways that I guess just cause less HIPAA violations. Seemed to be like a more straightforward path for me. One of which was somebody that I had gone out with over the summer. And it was very bizarre because we had gotten back in his car and we were like making out and stuff. And he goes, you know what would really turn me on is if you would call me daddy. Right. To which I replied, do you think you could maybe commit to the bit there and just like die? Which like he couldn't, right? So we didn't end up seeing each other again. But my name is Taylor Doyle. Thank you so much. Give it up for Brittany. Give it up for Gracie, please.